It is Monday, May 24th. I got these cool sunglasses today, even though I don't need them. I'm going to talk to you about what these mean. But first is, how are you this morning on this Monday? How did you wake up today? What can we do to feel better now? I got some inspiration I'm going to give you today. Meet me on the balcony. Nature's still kicking. It's a little quieter today. It's a little cooler today. It's in the probably in the 60s right now, about 60 some degrees Fahrenheit. And it's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be like in the 70s, beautiful day. But listen, I want to keep this short today. I want to jump into the inspiration part of this. And I know you're going to get something from this. And always, you're free to share this with an individual, share it wherever you feel. This is Meet Me on the Balcony. My name's Austin. I created a brand called Flashpoint. Your turnaround story starts here. We literally focus on no matter where someone is, no matter what's happened, no matter how dark it seems, there's a turnaround story that's in your future. And not only that, there's a flashpoint. So let me jump into this. Today, I want to talk about playing with the paradox. And this is a theme that keeps coming up for me today. And recently. It's about playing with the paradox. So let's play with the paradox. Good morning. Good morning. And for some reason, I can't see your names, but I do see your greetings. For some reason, I got to figure out what's going on with this phone. The paradox. If you think about paradox, it's the opposite. It's the playing with the opposite. Everyone says to go this way, we go that way. It's often talked about in investments, right? You ever heard that? Be greedy when everyone's fearful. Be fearful when everyone's greedy. And that's the paradox. And the people that do that get wealthy. The people like Warren Buffett follow the market. They get wealthy. How can that apply to our own lives? Well, every day you get up and you are faced with a series of stimulus. And typically it's similar things that happen every day. And what happens is we get into this stimulus response pendulum. Something happens, we respond. Something happens, we respond. And over time, we respond the same way. But when I worked with Stephen Covey's organization and got trained and got subjected to all that material, one of the things that I learned from that organization was between stimulus and response. Well, let me go back. Between stimulus and response, there seems to be just there's no like space, right? It's like stimulus response. But if you think about it, there's a space between stimulus and response. And between that space between stimulus and response, Stephen Covey says there's a space. And in that space, you can start to make a different decision. So I'll give you an example. One of the things that I did in my journey was I created this different response. And that was when I felt my energy drop. Not necessarily tired, but my energy would drop and I didn't feel like doing anything. Most of the response there is to just sit and do nothing. Watch TV, just sit on the couch. But once I became aware of this principle of paradox, I would use that as a rule. I would actually go exercise at that point. So if I felt like my energy was low, that was my trigger to go exercise. And in that process, something new was created. That in the middle of this, what you think it is, it could be different. So in your life, if you want things to change, what's the Jim Rohn quote, right? If you want things to change, you must change. And I think this is a great perspective to add to that change, is that when that stimulus happens, pause. And before you go with your normal response, can you choose a different response? But not only choose a different response, can you do the opposite of what you normally do? Can you do the opposite of what the world tells you you should do? And becoming aware of this process and playing with this process, I believe it can open up incredible new doors for you. New doors for you. Let me give you some other perspective on this. And let me just anchor this in. So as this day unfolds and you're faced with that stimulus response and maybe that older negative energy, what can you do to create that pause and then insert a paradox? For example, my energy's low, I'm going to go move. You know, when everybody's energy's low or they're tired, they don't do that, right? Most people are going to just sit and do nothing. But what if you just tried it and use that as a metaphor, that look for that opposite response? And I'll give you another example of a paradox, and it comes from the Bible. And that is, Jesus said, turn the other cheek. So if somebody strikes you on this side, you turn the other cheek to give them the other side. That's a paradox. That didn't make sense. So there was always Hammurabi's code, which was an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And here there's this incredible paradox. So this is just to drive home this message that you can play with the paradox. And I'm going to give you that contrast. We talked about this yesterday in the symphony, the highs and the lows. But here it is. Here's some more contrast. Heaviness is the root of lightness. Serenity is the master of restlessness. So this is from the Tao Te Ching. And also, let me leave you with this last line here, which I really love this. To be restless is to lose one's self-mastery. To be restless is to lose one's self-mastery. So again, think about that. When we want to get things done and we feel this pressure to get all this stuff done, it can create this restlessness and this anxiety. But when we unconsciously slip there, we lose our self-mastery. So to be restless is to lose one's self-mastery. So let's play with the paradox. The paradox is relax, breathe, move into relaxation, recalibrate, and in that you actually get your self-mastery back. Think about that. That's really powerful. That might be the whole reason you listened to this today, was to think about this and to say, can I rest in my relaxation and reclaim my self-mastery is the fruit of that. So this is Austin. This is Meet Me on the Balcony. It's time to reclaim your self-mastery. Play with the paradox today as the day unfolds for you. I hope you have an incredible Monday. It's beautiful. And I'll see you tomorrow for Meet Me on the Balcony, day number 7. And I'll be looking forward to, I'll be rolling out that topic soon. But today, play with the paradox. Go with it. And by the way, I want to share these glasses, is that just to anchor this home, is that we have these glasses as a metaphor to be able to look at things differently. So when your day unfolds today and you want to go into that old response, play with the paradox. Think about the glasses. See if you can look at things in a different way. All right, everyone. God bless. Have a fantastic day.